Hey everybody, we're back with the Tuesday night stream, concluding the Castlevania Marathon with one of the best games of the series, one of the best of the classic games, which we haven't really ended up looking at much in the Marathon, Super Castlevania IV. Hey Clem. This was actually my first Castlevania game. I had this as a kid on Super Nintendo. You know, maybe you shouldn't give Dracula a grave. Just a thought. Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula starts to revive itself. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Dracula has revived many times. However, his sinister actions have been consistently thwarted by the Belmont family. It's been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now, the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only his whip and courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. That's fair enough, Bane. Appreciate you being here regardless. Super Castlevania IV released in 1991 in the West, in the US. I think it was 92 for us. I think the year this came out in the US, we still didn't have Castlevania 3. Will do, thanks, Bane. Appreciate it, buddy. Get that sorted. And there we go. So Super Castlevania IV is weirdly atmospheric as far as the classic Castlevanias go. There isn't a regular Castlevania 4. That's the trick. This is also the last Castlevania to have a number in it. Walrus Belmont sets off on his journey to confront Dracula. So yeah, this was the Castlevania game I had as a kid. The first Castlevania game of the 16-bit era. The second, I believe, would be Rondo of Blood. And after that, I think Bloodlines came out before Dracula X on Super Nintendo. And the game is fantastic. Oh, you got Castlevania Requiem. Right, it's fair enough. I would argue not the best way to play either of those games, but it's the most convenient. And mostly I just give shame to Konami for putting the PSP versions on there without the game they came with. The painting in Stage 5 is a bastard, because it's instant death. It's instant death. And that's not fun to deal with at any point. So I can understand that. The versions of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night in Requiem are the versions that were included on the PSP game Dracula X Chronicles, and Dracula X Chronicles was a remake of Rondo of Blood. Full 3D and everything, and it's a really good game. My biggest problem with Castlevania Requiem isn't necessarily that it's just the PSP versions of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. It's the PSP versions of those games without the PSP game they came with, which is irritating. And on top of that, there's various glitches and problems with both of the games on there. Like, the best way to play Symphony of the Night is PlayStation, the second best is PSP. And then the worst is, of course, the Saturn. The Super Castlevania IV has a fantastic soundtrack. The Xbox 360 version, I always forget, it's basically a port of the PS1 version. It's fine. They took out the FMVs, which can be a bit confusing at times. And they replaced the ending track. When we did the Symphony of the Night randomizer, we talked about the ending track, I Am the Wind. They took that out and replaced it with a track from Lament of Innocence instead. But besides that, it's the PS1 version. No, there's always going to be equipment that you'll miss unless you know every piece of equipment in the game and you're grinding for it. It's the problem with your loot drops. Some stuff just won't drop for you. The PSP version of Symphony of the Night, they redubbed all of it. They redubbed it and retranslated everything, which I think is bullshit. Best sword in the game is in the reverse library. It's dropped by the Shmoo. It's called the Chrysagram. Brutal weapon. It doesn't have the highest stats, but it hits 4 times per swing. Alright, that's fair enough. We'll still be here when you get back, Clem. We've only just started. I love Theme of Simon. Well, that never happens. It was not invaders. That's good to hear. But yeah, they retranslated all the dialogue and redid all the voice acting. And my big problem with it is... yeah, it's not bad. My big problem with it is that a lot of the new voice actors sound really bored. And in a lot of cases, the dialogue is the same. It's just said differently. It's like, the opening lines are classic, like, "Die monster, you don't belong in this world." And in the PSP version, when they redubbed it, they replace it with, "Dracula, die now and leave this world, you'll never belong here." And it's the same thing, said in more words. Ah, these hands. You know, I was wondering why I couldn't move them. Watch out for men made of trees. Triple shot! Now if I can hold on to the cross. Of course, with this being Super Nintendo, we weren't allowed to call it a cross, we had to call it a boomerang. Like, the whole thing of Nintendo in the West trying to get around religious stuff, even in their own games, was ridiculous. It's like the sub-weapons are the knife, or the dagger, I think, is one of the two. The axe. They call the holy water a firebomb, for some reason. and the cross is a boomerang. Hate those things. So Super Castlevania IV has a fantastic soundtrack. My only real problem with it is when it's doing songs from other Castlevania games. Fun fact, if you're playing Symphony of the Night, the most broken sub-weapon in that game is the Holy Water, because it will hit on every frame. You know, sometimes I wish I knew how to turn the internet off for the Switch. It has an airplane mode that you can activate, but you can only activate it if you are playing in handheld. Everybody on my friends list is playing Animal Crossing right now. How you doing, Ninja? That is a heart, that's okay. Meat! Playing Doom. I've been playing Far Cry 5 at the minute. I'm going for the last of the main antagonists. Last of the main 3 before I got to go for the final one. But I'm starting to get kind of bored now. It's an extra life. That's good to see you, Ninja. Gotcha. And here we have the lamest version of Medusa to ever grace a Castlevania game. Not too bad. The entire country is officially on lockdown now. That was what went down last night. The announcement actually hit. The government haven't said it, but a lot of people are blaming it on people deciding to go to the beach over the weekend. Like, there were enough people who decided to go to the beach over the weekend, it was ridiculous. Like, we're on a lockdown and people, like, schools have been shut, and people just saw it as a holiday. Go for hands. I love the 8-directional whip. It is busted as hell, but I love it. Ah, get off me! Those are my hearts! Yeah, I probably should have thought about this more before I decided to play this game tonight. It makes it really hard to read the chat and not die. This should be the end of the level, which means map screen, which means I can read the chat. I think for your country to initiate a proper lockdown, it would require a competent government that actually gives a shit. I love that Konami pause noise. Alright. Alright, but enough about politics. Yeah, this game has a fantastic soundtrack. My only real complaint is when it does songs from other Castlevania games, which we won't get into until later, but this game has renditions of Bloody Tears, Vampire Killer, and Beginning. And Bloody Tears is okay. I do not like the rendition of Vampire Killer of beginning in this game. It's like, Dracula X is a far weaker game than this on Super Nintendo, but I love that soundtrack, it is fantastic. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because for some reason Dracula X isn't on this collection. I think the pause noise, I think this is the same pause noise that was in the Super Nintendo version of Batman Returns. Which is a game we might do at one point, but yeah, it's a beat-em-up with limited continues, so don't expect me to ever finish it. Because I am not good at beat-em-ups. Meat. Do it in both if you want. But I'm probably not going to look at it at the minute, while I'm doing this. I'm thinking about it now, there's probably a reason why I don't do a lot of old school games on the stream, because it means I can't actually read the chat without being, like, looking incredibly incompetent. Bam. Oh, what music is it? I assume it's Castlevania music. Hell, I might have heard of it. This soundtrack gets so good. Watch out for those. Ah, you bastard. Four mudmen on screen. The slowdown. I've not heard of Power Glove. The idea of them opening for Dragon Force is interesting. I like Dragon Force, but a lot of their songs feel very samey, and I think it's because of how long they all are. And so, like, there's only a few that really stand out. Yeah, I've heard of the Oakley Dokleys. They all dress as Ned Flanders, but they do metal songs. The only Simpsons part of the whole gimmick is that they dress as Flanders, they don't do Simpsons songs. The whole thing seems kind of weird to me. This game is so good. Don't want that. Ugh. I never like that jump. Always a nasty jump. Not worth it. No, Austrian Death Machine. You never stop talking about those whenever you get a chance. And this is the song we were playing for the opening. Go. Almost got hit by that peeping eye while I was looking away then. Alright. No. Take a drink. Yeah. Let me grab that song you put, Clem. I'll put it on the Discord. Oh God, no! It was garbage. I'm not fucking doing that again. You know, I've not heard of that. That sounds interesting. That's being 2+3. It sounds interesting. I'll give that a look later. Nah, I was pausing the game to take a drink anyway. This game is very unfriendly to casual streams. I mean, the entire classic series is. And, like, it really makes me thankful now that I think about it that this is the first classic Castlevania game that we're really doing in earnest. Not worried there. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, jeez. I don't want to actually die before I get to the castle. It's like, this game, as far as classic Castlevanias go, is kind of interesting. We go wherever we want to, Ninja. I mean, like, now that we've got the Discord, the list channel that I've set up in there is specifically so that I remember stuff that I want to do. Because it's been way too common for me to think to myself, like, yeah, no, I want to do this game, and then completely forget about it. And I've got some time and an open slot in the schedule, and then I'm like, oh no, I've started something else because I completely forgot. We might do a shitty game stream at some point. I don't think Bubsy 3D is on my PS Mini at the minute. I'd have to set it up. Here we go. Triple shot cross is amazing. If you can hold on to it, oof. Love that pose. No, there's no maybe about a full stream of Bubsy 3D. The answer's no. Oh, we've been over this, babe. You've been asking me for about a year now. Well, there's a bunch of stuff we could do. I might do Wind Waker. I've been meaning to do that since Ocarina of Time finished back in January on the YouTube channel. Do it for Ninja. See, the problem is, like, Bubsy 3D is boring as fuck. I mean, we've been over this. You've seen everything you need to see in that game in like 10 minutes. Probably less. I'm probably being generous with 10 minutes. Yoda and the Ewoks. You're the one that's into the Ewoks, not me. Well, that's a good way to get around that whole thing, isn't it, Ninja? But yeah, no, fine. I'll do it for a whole stream. The stream is literally 10 minutes. Alright, so these floors here, you jump on them, they spin. That's a knife. Alright, here we go. Nice. Sometimes I screw that middle one up and I don't jump fast enough. This level is what we affectionately refer to as the Mode 7 level. Damn, I need to jump faster. There we go. Yeah, no, it's like, we'll end the stream. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. And then we just come back immediately. Like, oh, well, welcome to the new stream. I mean, April 1st is next week. Is this Skull? Yes, it is. God, I love triple shot crosses. Remake 3 is almost upon us. How many of us will be able to get it? Oh, that reminds me, did anybody actually know what's supposed to be happening with the System Shock remake? I haven't heard anything about that in a while. I heard there were troubles with System Shock 3 as well. I had that weekend booked off. But it's looking like there's not really going to be much point to it now. I remember when Konami were like top of the industry. I love how tense this track is. Watch out for the slowdown. Thumb's getting a little sweaty there. Oh jeez. It looks like the platforms are falling behind you and you have to outrun them. They're really not. It's mostly so you can't go back, but like they won't fall until you go a certain way forward. They don't know you've bugged it off. You dick. Ah. Alright, this might get a little tense. If you want to play it now, Ninja, I'm playing it on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. Simple way to pick it up. There we go, we'll just skip all of the looping. This is classic Castlevania. The logic dictates that those spikes are instant death. Yeah, it's on the Super Nintendo Mini. Although, you know, they're not in production anymore. Super Nintendo was fantastic. Really was. It's one of the things, like, we've got the Super Nintendo service thing on Switch. And it's really disappointing just how few games are actually on there. Hey, remember the days before epilepsy warnings? Ah, shit. Close. Yeah, no, it's understandable. I mean, it's not as bad as Mega Man 2, but it's still pretty bad. But yeah, if you want to play this, Ninja, along with several other really good Castlevania games, I highly recommend picking the collection up. It's available on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I'm playing it on the Switch right now. You know, the Mecha Dragon in Mega Man 2 is unbelievable. For that. I think the Guts Dozer is pretty bad with it too. Shit, come on. We're almost at the castle. Keep moving. But yeah, no, as for what we do after this, I don't know. We might do Wind Waker. Like I said, I've been meaning to do that since we finished Ocarina on the channel. Which was the end of January. But I started thinking about the Castlevania Marathon, and then I kept talking about it. I was like, well, I can't back out of this now. I've said it too much. Yeah, the Guts Dozer. You know the big bulldozer that Dr. Wily has that looks like Gutsman? What do you call it? The biggest worry here is running out of time on this stage. Ah. This game does such good things with its soundtrack. And we're in the castle. It's in your Super Nintendo box. Like I say, I had this on Super Nintendo. Fantastic. It was my first Castlevania game. God, I should not have let go of the controller there. And that dog's going to get back up. Let me just take a drink. This was my first Castlevania game and it's fantastic. And if we finish this in under 2 hours, I will see about doing my second Castlevania game and we'll end on that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned what my second Castlevania game was. There we go. My third Castlevania game was Castlevania 64. No, Rondo of Blood was the second game of the of the 16-bit era. Rondo of Blood wasn't released outside of Japan until the Dracula X Chronicles on PSP. It's for a system that was not very popular outside Japan. Nah, that's understandable, Clem. Sometimes I say things wrong. God, I'm gonna fall here. I can feel it. Don't do it, my grade will be a B. Well, I'm not gonna heal myself with first aid sprays, so that should boost my rank a little bit. God. Fucking damn it. There goes my triple shot cross. Okay, whip upgrade. Bit of advice there, Clem. You might want to copy and paste that because you'll probably be saying it quite a bit. The whip, the way it is in classic Castlevania games, you start with the leather whip, and you get an upgrade for it, and it becomes a chain whip, and you get another upgrade, and it becomes longer. So the upgrade is upping the damage, and then upping the reach. Some of the classic Castlevania games have a third upgrade for it. Like Bloodlines does that. Let's try this again. Alright. Like, the game hasn't even started to get difficult yet. Like, as classic Castlevanias go, Super Castlevania IV is one of the easier ones. But make no mistake, we get a little further in, and it starts getting really hard. And then by the time you're at the clock tower, you're going to be bleeding lives. Fucking bat. I didn't realise that's what you meant whenever you said Mecha no. Alright, let's try this again. Get it at its lowest point, there we go. Okay. Full. There we go. Now we got a few things to watch out for, like these chandeliers. Axe armors. Dancing ladies. Weird balls of light. Thankfully, I don't think this game does respawn in enemies. This ain't your daddy's Castlevania. Just want a piece of meat. All I want. So axe armors can be a problem in basically every Castlevania game before the Metroidvania games. The trick is pretty much to always lay the pressure on, but that's not always a possibility. There we go, bit of meat. You don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. Shit, it's 4 hits, I forgot. That didn't hit me. Okay. Deal with axe armors with the short whip. You mean the guy in the weird hat? I assume a dance partner? Just... Ugh. Yeah, I assume it's a dance partner of some kind. And we're off. There we go. Shouldn't have jumped there. Yeah, I assume it's like a dance partner or something, maybe a janitor. I don't know. It's not an enemy that appears in any other Castlevania game as far as I recall. There we go. Two, 3, 4. Make sure I hit this guy the right number of times. Oh! Fucking bat. Okay. Okay, so we get one shot at this. There we go. So I'm not overly worried about this game until we get to the treasure level. And if you're wondering how you'll know what the treasure level is, you'll know what the treasure level is. I forget when the treasure level is. That was close. Well, skeletons didn't take 2 hits before. At least they're not instant kill like that painting is in Rondo of Blood. I honestly, fuck that painting. Blood skeletons. Skeleton with a whip. Regular skeleton. Wait for this. God, the fucking coughing creepers in Lord of Shadow. Ugh. How long is this level? This. Yeah, no, the painting is outright bullshit. I don't think there should be an enemy in a game like this that can instant kill you. Watch out for the grabby hands. I can't give you an exact number on that ninja, but I can say at least 20. Or at least 20 seconds in eternity. How long is this level? Like the Circle of Boos in Mario World, but more morbid somehow. Watch out for the killer tables. They weren't expecting to hear that today. Yeah, this has to be the dancer's boss. There we go. What do you think, what, Clem? It has to be the dancer's boss? Ooh, why not? It's mostly the scenery. The scenery feels fitting for it. I mean, look at this. Doesn't this just look like somewhere you dance? That's bullshit. Hold me close, ghostly dancer. I don't like that the hitbox is still active when they're invisible. Psychic powers. I'm just kidding with you. I overheard one of the villagers talking about them. Come on, give me a sub-weapon. Give me enough hearts for it. Ah! You know, there are times when I miss after the item crash from Rondo of Blood. Well, at least we can just keep doing this. Seriously, give me an item. Give me a sub-weapon. Meat is appreciated. Well, we're doing this old school, boys. Don't stand over there. Yeah! I think it's because of how many stages this game has. Like, they have some weird bosses. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Ah, the library. It was kind of funny, Clem. The first time I had a real problem with that boss, and then the second time I demolished it. God, I don't actually remember the number. We get to a point where they stop numbering them. And they start naming them Stage A, Stage B, Stage C. Well, the weird thing is, it doesn't go high enough to really justify using letters. Like, if it went past double digits, sure, but this game doesn't have over 99 levels. You know what, Clem? There's a good idea. Good idea to have more than you need. Axe armor despawned. Cross. Nice. Well, you know, the way I look at it is, if you ever played Super Mario Sunshine, there are stages in Super Mario Sunshine, whereas, like, if you played Mario 64, you know about the 100 coin stars. In Super Mario Sunshine, they bring those back, but not every level in, not every stage in a particular level has 100 coins for you to collect. Which is stupid. Books. Get a Kindle. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's just one of those things, Clem. Like, I went through Lords of Shadow, and I ended up with a lot more upgrades than I did the first time, because a lot of them are just so missable when you first play the game. That made me uncomfortable. There you go. Okay. Yeah, don't play the game again. I still think Lords of Shadow 2 is worth playing. Like, I still think Lords of Shadow 2 is worth playing. But, don't get the DLC. There's food right here. That's weird, because in Dark Souls 1, in Dark Souls Remastered, in particular, I did a lot of what needed to be done, plus extra stuff, and I don't think I've got over 50% of the trophies. Yeah, that was bullshit. I feel like the worst thing for getting trophies in a JRPGs. They're so stingy with giving out trophies. Yay, meat. How is Control? I've not played it. I mean, I'm like 3 games behind with Remedy's games. I've not done Alan Wake or Quantum Break yet. Alan Wake is on the list of games that I do want to do at some point. Does it run well yet? I heard it didn't run well when it came out. Okay, see. Crouch walk here. I don't need Smash Bang Amazing, I just need something that'll hold my interest long enough to actually finish the game. Well, that's definitely a big problem with a lot of games that get put out these days. They're not interesting enough to justify the full length of the game, and then the game's too long anyway. Ah shit, I don't have any sub-weapons. Damn it. May not be for me. The Archviles. It's good to know that the Archviles are still there to screw over a new generation of players. No, what's this? Oh, it's on a different server. Oh, Alice says she'll be back tomorrow, that's nice. They buff every demon? Oof. I remember in, like, Archviles are a classic bullshit enemy usage in Final Doom, which is a bullshit game to begin with. But there's the point where Archviles will detect you through walls, and they're specifically placed in locations to do that. They can't set you on fire because they can't see you. But what they can do is revive every demon that you've killed nearby. Arachnotrons, god, that's something that brings back memories. Stage 8. Really should go back and actually do Doom 2016. Not yet though, since I'm playing Far Cry 5 for myself. I'm not in the mood for another shooter. Ah, you bastard Thornweed, you're supposed to die in one hit. So this is a problem that is really bad in Castlevania 3. And standard enemies, when you find them further on in the game, for some reason are tougher. It's gonna get stressful later, Ninja. Promise you that. The clock tower run in this game. Like, the clock tower is always horrible, but like in this game, ugh. Yeah, I'll just hit you guys from down here. Yeah, that one room was awful. It's actually a point there, because you didn't catch the end yesterday, Bane. The way yesterday's DLC ended was with a boss fight with Zobek's Lieutenant, which was so boring and drawn out. We finally get to the end of it, and the guy teleports away and starts regenerating himself, and I can't figure out what to do to stop him from regenerating, so he comes back with regen health. And then he manages to kill me, and the game restarts me at the start of the boss fight, and I say, no, we're done. Yeah! Thanks for the follow, Darius. Welcome to the stream, friend. There it is. Like, that final boss in the Revelations DLC was absolute bullshit. And like, the reason I just stopped wasn't because it was difficult. It's because it was so drawn out. I don't know, we didn't have a counter. No. There we go. Like I say, it's not because it was difficult, it's because it kept stopping to do a cutscene attack that you'd then have to just basically stop the entire fight to avoid. And it's why the fight took so long. Almost at 60. Oof. Not like that. I think that would have just ruined everything for me if that was going on, Ninja. Okay. Alucard. Alright, invincibility potion. Invincibility potion ran out. In the Japanese version, this is not slime, it's blood. Get that horizontal coverage. Damn it. Well, Richter isn't alive yet. Just why? Alright, let me get a little more comfortable. Have another drink. Alright, let's go. Okay, you know what? This part is actually bullshit. I do hate this. When was the last time I did Super Castlevania 4? Alright, don't taste the blood. Alright, don't put it in your mouth. Like, so try and figure out the pattern here. It's like in Terminator 3 where the TX can read DNA by tasting blood. And it's like, who thought that was a good idea? Anybody see a proper pattern? Barry's with his family. He doesn't want to leave the family to use weapons that are really powerful against living things. To be fair, at least they used that reason to bring him back. It's like, oh no, his family's in danger again. Alright, we got lucky there. It's weird seeing the monster in the classic games without the Igor type. Got 80 hearts, I'm gonna use them. Suck it, bitch. I looked away from the screen because I thought that was dumb. God damn it. See, that's an idea they do in Rondo of Blood. Like, the bosses have a desperation move that they'll use as their final attack. You get the HP down to 0, and they'll do one last attack. But that attack can never kill you. I think there's like only one time in the game that the desperation attack in Rondo of Blood can actually kill you. It might be with Shaft. But like the kamikaze attack or desperation attack in Rondo of Blood exists pretty much just to steal the no damage bonus from you. Damn it, I shouldn't have done that. And I feel like that's the best idea for that kind of thing. I'd be very surprised if Barry doesn't reappear in Remake. RE3 Remake. Oh, we have to go through this again. Hopefully they actually expand on it a little, because the original game, it was always weird to me that they're so coy about actually saying it's Barry. I'm looking at the thing now, Ninja, and it doesn't say we lost anything. Which is unusual. Like, we haven't dropped any frames at all yet. Which is unusual. Go. 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 I hate that. It's like, okay, you're gonna put a boss with a kamikaze attack, or a boss with a desperation attack, in the level with your bullshit platforming sequence. Let's do this. At that point, you probably didn't hear, like, from everything I'm seeing on my side, the stream's going fine. Which is surprising, we haven't dropped any frames. Go on. Don't get this one. You know, it'd be a good idea to see more of the NPCs of Raccoon City. Because like, RE3 does a lot of stuff that I really like, and showing more people in the outbreak is good. It's just a shame they all died before you could basically do anything for them. Now let's try this again. I fucking hate this sequence. And we're on our last life now, so if we die here, we restart the entire stage to do this shit again. It's that kind of shit that is why I was so happy we got through it on the first try. This is Simon Belmont. Damn it! As far as I'm aware, the chronology of the series goes Leon Belmont is the progenitor, and then like 300 years later we have Trevor, and then at some point we have Christopher, and then it's Simon, and then Juiced. And after Juiced, I'm not entirely sure. Then Richter shows up at some point, and Portrait of Ruin confirms that Richter was the last Belmont to hold the whip until Julius. Alright, I didn't want to do this, but I'm not redoing this stage. We didn't need to do it anyway, we're all good. Sneeze. Okay. Yes. Use the iframes and get past him. Oh, come on! The main reason why I was willing to do a save state there is because of that bullshit platforming sequence. No, I don't like that. I don't like it when they do that kind of thing in Mega Man, but at least Mega Man has a sequence for it. Alright. Oh yeah, double shot and knife, that's what I wanted. Good work there, Skelly bro. Pizza. Yeah, let's see if I can get this. Damn it! Don't pay full price for light pizza. Good news is I don't eat pizza. So that's not a problem to me. Well, it's a good thing pizza isn't like a national dish here. Damn it. Pizza Christ. I mean, if I was into pizza, it'd make nights out a lot easier to deal with. It's ridiculous how nowhere in this fucking town serves fish and chips after like 1 AM. Come on. There we go. Fuck you! Wee! Cross boys! Good thing coffins can't jump. Hmm. That was a bit in the first series of the revival of Doctor Who. Well, it's really the thing is like you go out at like whatever time, go at like 7 p.m. I always make sure to eat beforehand because it's a smart idea. And then you get to like 1 in the morning and you're ready to go home, but it's a good idea to eat something before you go to bed because it will just help deal with the hangover. It's like one of my big things, one of my big rules to avoid hangovers: eat something and have a bunch of water. And it's like every time I go out to town, about the only thing I can get is fucking McDonald's. I hate McDonald's. I don't want McDonald's. Get myself a fillet of fish. I asked for no mayonnaise. They put mayonnaise on it. I'm like, you had one job. Pretty much. Well, you know why they do it? It's because they don't put any butter on the buns. It's like if you're having a burger, fine, fair enough. You don't need butter on there. But a fillet of fish burger, a fillet of fish, it's just like it's a fish sandwich. Breaded fish on sandwiches can be nice. There's no butter on there, so they put mayonnaise on there because it's just cheaper. It's like, I'm not going to eat the bun, your buns are shit. I'm going to take the fish off the bun and just eat the fish. Why are your fries always cold? God, you fucking prick. Oh, you know, the quote system comes in handy, and you do good work with it, Bane. But the price of it isn't great either. It's like basically you're my alternative to getting fish and chips and getting a fillet of fish and a fucking medium fries. Let's be fair, it ain't gonna really fill me up. Why does it cost more than fish and chips? Oh, I don't want a kebab at 2 in the morning. I think it depends on the fish. Well, I mean a chippy fish. Chippy fish can be really nice. There we go. Grab those. Not really into shrimp. There we go. I mean, I suppose the whole point of the conversation is moot because I don't go out anymore. because it was always shit. I mean, to be fair, I was never really into going out. I was only going out to interact with friends outside work, and it turned out I didn't want to interact with friends outside work because they're not really good friends. Yep. Knew that was going to hurt me, which is why I've been attacking it from below. Come on. Get out of the way. I hate that damaging these things throws off stuff that can hurt me. I'll just die! I didn't mean to press that. Yeah, that worked. It turns out that very few people from that work are really actually good to have a night out with. And like that opinion was most solidified last year when I'm just there thinking that I just don't enjoy going out. Maybe it's just something with me and I don't enjoy going out. And I meet up with an old friend from college. I haven't seen him for years. And we have a night out. And the only person I know there is the friend from college who I haven't seen for years. Way better time than going out with work. Everybody's way nicer. Everybody's actually interested in talking rather than going off into little corners to flirt with each other. I was actually supposed to be going out with that friend again, but the whole current situation has thrown it off. Trouble was really trying to get weekends off to do it. It was a good time. But that's probably like the most I'm going to say here, because really shouldn't be complaining about that shit in a recorded setting. Like, I think the end point of it is, more than anything, it's the people you go out with that matter most. Alright. Let's see if I can get this time. You prick! At least this is a good music track. Yeah, the reunion last year wasn't too bad until afterwards, where a bunch of us went to town. That was the problem. That was close. I'm lucky I didn't actually step on that gold beforehand. Like, the reunion was great. It's like seeing people you haven't seen in a while, who you can have good conversations with. You were there, Bane, and you're always a good conversation. And then, like, going out to town afterwards, and it was the same shit again. Same shit it always is. And I just haven't been out since. Fuck it. This is a good track. I like this track. And how long was this level? White Dragon here dancing to music. Okay. That went smoother first time. Yeah, he can dance if you want him. He can leave his friends behind. Here we go. You know what? I should have remembered this. There we go. Can't believe I forgot this. Oh, damn it. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they ain't no friends of mine. Alright, hopefully this will go better this time. Although the best sub-weapon for this situation, for the boss, will be the axe. That's good, ninja. Good stuff. I'm just gonna go with a different song though. Yeah, this is actually way worse positioning. Close. Talking away. I don't know what I'm to say, I'll say it anyway. Today's my day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Never really into Van Halen. Take on me. There's actually a really good version of Take On Me that was done for MTV Unplugged, and it's really good. It's a really nice, soft acoustic version. They use it in the Deadpool 2 soundtrack. Okay. Come on. Damn, I was hoping I'd get one of them. Yeah. If you've seen Deadpool 2, you have heard the one I'm talking about. Right, I think we're actually approaching endgame. Stage A. Hear this? A soft version of Bloody Tears. And now... To be fair, these old Super Nintendo games generally aren't that long. They make the length up by difficulty. It's like you try and play... Mega Man 2 on NES. And if you know how to play that game, it's like 45 minutes. That was like the best part of Season 2 when they just started playing Bloody Tears. It was awesome. As like I've said before, like, I wish it was beginning because beginning fits with Castlevania 3, but just having a Castlevania track was great. God damn it. I can 96 star Super Mario World in about 3 hours. And that's 100% completion. We saw last year that I can do A Link to the Past back to front in under 3 hours, which I was happy with. This is it, folks. This is where we start dying a lot. Yeah, basically, Glenn. So I said before, like, I like Super Castlevania IV's soundtrack, but pretty much only its original songs. I think this version of Bloody Tears is decent, not the best. I think Dracula X has a better rendition on Super Nintendo. But when we get to Vampire Killer and Beginning, I don't like those versions in this game. Yeah, I can beat you there, Bane. I just don't put it in the system. The thing, Shaq Fu is kind of awkward because it's not a good game, but it is not as bad as its reputation has made it out to be. And it has positive points. Being developed by Delphine Software, Delphine couldn't develop a fighting game, but what they could do was damn good animation. It's actually one of the problems with the game, the animation on the characters. It means basically everything takes so long to actually pull off because there are so many frames of animation for everything. Alright, here we go. Like that said though, Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn, the game that was kickstarted on the the weird hype shit that has gone on for Shaq Fu over the past few years, that is absolute garbage. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Like, Shaq Fu is interesting as a curiosity. And, like, there are definitely worse fighting games. Not even, like, these days, there are worse fighting games from the time period. Okay. Okay, manipulate. Go. Welcome to the clock tower. Not the worst clock tower in the series. That was dangerous. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's the exit. God fucking damn it. Castlevania 3's clock tower is really bad. Castlevania 1's clock tower is a pain. Dracula X, but like, damn it. No, definitely don't end the game. So much of Dracula X is a pain to actually deal with. In the end, my biggest problem with Dracula X is its difficulty. Because so much of it is bullshit. Rondo of Bloods isn't too bad. And Rondo of Bloods is probably easier than this. That gear will always get me. It's probably a toss-up between Castlevania 3 and Dracula X. Of course, I'm only thinking 2D Castlevania games, and specifically only thinking Classicvania. Because the Metroidvania clock towers are not as bad as Classicvania. Okay. Oh. Like, the main reason why Metroidvania clock towers aren't as bad as Classicvania is because there are no bottomless pits in Metroidvania. Like, it's just that. Okay. Come on. There we go. And like, the bigger problem with the whole thing is the way that bottomless pits work in this game. The screen will not scroll back down now. Alright, and now, let me save this just in case anything goes wrong at the minute. I am going to go and use the bathroom. Because I am not doing the rest of this, needing the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Yay. How's everybody feeling tonight? A little bit warm. Yeah. Get a fresh drink so I can rehydrate. Oh, of course, Hearts on Fire is amazing. Well, I think we all agree by Rocky 4 they were definitely slipping, whether you like Rocky 3 or not. But, while Rocky 4 may not be a great movie overall, it has some of the best moments of the series. And Hearts on Fire is definitely like the best montage song. Alright, let's do this. Play that funky music. Bam! Oh, of course, it's the mummy. I forgot the mummy was here. Okay, where are you going to appear? In the same place. And I should have been on the other side, that would have been a better idea. No. Ah! Okay. What about the fireballs? Oh. Move, you bitch. That's a good victory theme. Signifies everything you want. Stage B. Here it is. Alright, so, this is basically the last level. But it is a long level. And like, if there's any place in the game to use save states, it's this level. Yeah, I'll take double shot. Nice. Well, basically, the Durons are bastards to actually deal with. Oh, there's the slowdown. Very slight, but it's there. Start putting too many bats on the screen. Well, you're basically expected to take advantage of the multi-directional whip in this game anyway. Okay, so it's like you want an example. You want a big thing like how long the stage is. Look at the timer at the minute. 908 seconds. And this is where the stage starts to get bullshit. That ball there, a spike ball, if it touches us, we're dead. Game over, that's it. Well, no, not game over, but like, that's instant death. And these stairs can be a pain because if you're not holding the direction when you land on them, you won't go up them fast enough. Okay. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Like that. And like, this is where the stage starts getting problematic. Hit the candle. I want that to be like a major thing in your head at the minute. This is where the stage starts getting problematic. This is not the worst of it. So the main thing that keeps the rest of the game feeling doable is the stage lengths. They get a little bit long at times, but not too bad, because when you get a game over, you go back to the beginning of the stage. With how long this stage is, it's a real problem. It's like, we look at the timer and it's taken us about 2 hours to get here. This stage could be another hour, if I fuck this up. Okay. Let's go. Wasn't holding the right direction immediately. Why weren't you moving up, Simon? What is wrong with you? Okay. Okay. Come on, swing. Swing faster. Okay. Now, this is mostly easier, but you do have to watch out for the spiked ceilings. Nasty. And I think the spike ball is still chasing us. Damn it. I want this to be over. Nice life again. Oh, but you're gonna miss the best part of the bullshit, Clem. Nah, we'll probably still be doing this when you get back. Enjoy your food, buddy. Swing, swing. Yeah. I'm probably gonna be... What the fuck was that? I call bullshit there. Hmm. You know, let's take this opportunity to have a little breather and see if anything's going on. So this is actually the first Super Nintendo game we've done since we got the since we set up the new 4x3 layout for streaming. And it was a bit of concern for me today because, like, PlayStation boxes and Game Boy Advance boxes are, like, the square. So they come across as smaller than stuff like Mega Drive boxes, PS2 boxes, stuff like that. Which are lengthways. Like, they're vertical. But then the Super Nintendo is horizontal. And it's like, how do I work that out? We just end up with the box being smaller. Let's just have a little breather. I think it depends on the game. Though, I prefer the Super Nintendo box art for Super Castlevania IV compared to the Super Famicom version of Kumajo Dracula. Okay, so looking over stuff here, it seems like a lot of shit is still bad. Oh yeah, no, the Super Famicom art for Final Fantasy VI is fantastic. I love the artwork of Terra and the Magitech armor. Alright, now back to your regularly scheduled me trying desperately not to scream. Fuck off! Like, the Final Fantasy VI box art in the West, I say mostly that, the Super Nintendo box art of Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy III, is better than I would have expected. It's surprising to me that it actually has a Moogle on it. Yeah, you know, I'll agree with that. The American box art for Chrono Trigger is a lot more active than the Super Famicom art for it. I'll agree with that. I really need to get around to playing Chrono Trigger again for myself. And it's looking like the only way I'm actually going to end up doing it is if I just do it for a stream. Yeah, come on. But, like, I still want to take a bit of a break from JRPGs. Why? I maybe do a couple of more games before we do Lucifer's Call. And I'm probably going to do the American version of Lucifer's Call. So it'll be Nocturne. There's the European version. I was looking into it, and the European version has a fucked up bug that can ruin a true demon ending run. Not sure if I'll be going for that ending yet, but I'd rather not take the risk and have the stream ruined by it. Thankfully, Lucifer's Call is not a difficult game to pick up in any fashion. They take care of you. Yeah, this is where I died last time, I think. So keep going, keep going, keep going. There it is! Akira Toriyama did the character and monster designs for Chrono Trigger and has been doing it since the start of Dragon Quest. It is, that's how I have it on PS3, but we'll be doing it on PS2. I actually have a fan-translated version of the final release of it in Japan, which wasn't released outside of Japan, that replaces Dante with Raido Kuzunoa the 14th. And I've been kind of debating doing that, but I'm probably just going to go with the American version. So hey, you remember Slugger in Symphony of the Night and how he was a complete not a joke? Not here, he ain't. Here, he's bullshit. The hitbox on his spear when he lands is so unpredictable. No, Ridley's in the other series, Star. Also, welcome to the stream, Star. Fucking... That is Slogra. He appears in Symphony of the Night as a double team with another enemy, in a double team as the first boss. Is that an emulation issue with this collection? Okay, drop your spear. I don't like that, because there's no way you can stop him from doing it if he does it immediately. Because he's still invincible. Damn it. You want wings, do you, Star? Oh, what's that? 2 health ups? Right after this boss? 3 health ups. You're being very generous, Super Castlevania IV. The next boss. Gaibin. God, do I have a strategy for Gaibin? Like, the Slugger and Gaibin were a double team as the first boss in Symphony of the Night, and they were so much easier than this. But wait! There's more! Give me more health. This fight is a pain in the ass. You bastards. Ah, fuck you, Death. At least it starts me at death. You know, I'm sure I saw in a speedrun once a way to jump up onto this top platform here. Because you beat Death, and what happens is, like, you get onto this top platform afterwards. And that leads you to the final boss. Okay. Come on. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, last life, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a save state here just in case. Just in case dying here sends me back to the beginning of the stage. Because I'm not doing all of it again. Looking back, Ninja, you missed 2 bosses. Now we're fighting death. Damn it. It's like, God, remember how tough death used to be before the Metroidvanias? Okay, is this going to send me back to the beginning? No, it doesn't. Awesome. And that means I will be beating this game without save states. So basically what you missed, Ninja, is that part we died on before you left was right before the exit. And then after that there's a fight with Slogra, and then the fight with Gaiden, who you may remember from Symphony of the Night. They're the first boss. You fight them in a double team in Symphony of the Night. They're 1-on-1 here. And then you fight death. So we can just keep throwing ourselves at this until he dies. Well, that's good. That is good checkpoint placement. I'm okay with that. Can I get away? That's a bitch to avoid that one. Come on! Damn it. All we need is one run. One run to go right. And then we've got it. I don't think we're getting a perfect run. Okay, and now move away so he can't immediately hit me with that sickle he's going to throw out. You prick. Death, you're a prick. Let me get it. Oh. Let's do this. Pretty much, but the good news with it is, like, we get a game over before the death. We get a game over at the death fight, and we restart there. We get a game over here, and we restart here. And, like, that's good. Really is. Drop across. Double shot, triple shot. I like that they let you go into this fully loaded. Yeah, I was just demonstrating. At this point, the lives mean nothing. We're finally here. Let's do this. And Dracula can be really tricky here. It's the simple version of Dracula. Although the Hellfire doing that is a bit of a pain. But you can actually make him drop meat, if you know how. To recover you. You thought I'd gotten to the end, I was like, well, I'm done. No, we're actually going to finish this one. Though I'll admit I am doing terrible here. It's not so much that Lords of Shadow 2 broke me, it's that I was done with it, I was bored. The final boss fight with Zobek's Lieutenant wasn't a good fight, and it was so drawn out. This platform should really be visible. Okay. What game was that on, Bane? If it wasn't for the fact that we'd made it all this way without using save states, I'd put a save state here just so we don't have to do the opening of this fight again. I need to get to that phase where I can get into drop meat. San Andreas, God, I can understand that. Everybody remembers the follow the damn train mission, but for me, like, that's bad. The worst is the final mission, though. The mission that's so bad that it's the only mission you get a checkpoint in. And now he drops meat if you do that. Okay. Do the spinny ball thing again, Dracula, you dick. Damn it. Okay, you know, I don't even remember the quarry missions. San Andreas was good at its time. It's probably still better to go back to than Grand Theft Auto 4 because it's serious Grand Theft Auto, but before it got too serious. Like, Vice City is Grand Theft Auto still being crazy, wacky and shit, and having fun with itself. San Andreas is more serious. But unlike GTA 4, it's not too serious. Like, GTA 4 is such a tonally inconsistent game. Like, while Vice City is a game I'll go back to every now and then, Vice City is not a game I'm ever going to finish again. No, Vice City is a game I'll go back to, San Andreas is not a game I'll ever finish again. If only I could do Richter's backflip. I don't feel too bad about it, Star. That final mission in San Andreas is bullshit. Do the spinny ball. God damn you, Dracula, you prick. It's like, I'm not saying I'll never go back to San Andreas, but, like, The most I'll do, I'll never get past the opening set of missions in San Andreas. Do the spinny ball and give me some freaking health. I think this is actually the only time Dracula has red hair. Yeah, good luck with the torture on Extreme Star. I think... Oh, you 100%ed San Andreas? Crazy bastard. I think this is the only time Dracula has red hair. Every other appearance I can think of, it's either blue, black, or grey. God damn it. Okay, 2, 3. Grab him. Nice. Oh, you didn't get both? Close. Oh, damn it, I needed that spinny ball and it hit me. I think Ninja and Liquid are the worst because the melee fighting is garbage. But the Liquid fight is definitely worse because the fall off and the timer. Alright. Yeah, you forget exactly just how painful the race can be on anything higher than normal. It's not just that there's so many of them, it's that they all take so much to die. Hey, do the spinny ball thing, Dracula, you prick. I get him. Damn it. Alright. I'm gonna do MGS2 at some point for the channel, probably this year. But I've done MGS2 in the last couple of years. It's been a while since I've done 3, and I only finished 4 once, back when I first got my PS3. And the biggest problem with going back to 3 and 4 is how long they are. flame pillars. Okay, do the spinny ball thing before you go to your next phase, Dracula, you prick. Damn it. It is one of the most basic fights Dracula ever has, and the second form isn't actually a giant monster. The problem is the overlayering of Dracula teleporting and the way the fire bits are set out. Well, we'll get to MGS4 eventually. And with it being... it is so much of a movie. I may end up, rather than doing MGS4 as a Let's Play, I may end up doing it as a stream instead, but that's ways away. Okay. I think MGS4, while it has its problems, was probably the best conclusion we ever could have gotten out of Solid Snake's story. And, like, it's certainly no MGS5, thank God. That should have hit. I need the spinny ball. Oh! Go do it again. Hit it. Come on, hit it now. Here we go. Theme music. Hitbox on the lightning's a lot bigger than you think it is. Damn. It's always lightning. Alright, what did I miss? Well, with how long it's been since I went through MGS4, it would be like rewatching an old movie that I enjoyed. It'd be good to go back to. But like MGS5's a mess. Right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right. It's like... it's a trope referred to as theme music power-up, and it is such a basic trope, and I love it. And the fact that it plays Theme of Simon, which is introduced in this game, when you get to the second phase. It's not Dance of Illusions or anything, it's Theme of Simon. I love that. It's so cool. You don't want to play MGS5 Ninja. It's bad. And the most irritating thing about it is it's my second most played game on PS4. Because it took that long to finish. Alright, come on. I think it took me less time to beat Persona 5 than it did to beat Metal Gear Solid 5. A game is too long with nothing going on. Hey, get the ball. Get the ball. I'm not hitting him again until I get that ball. And do it again. Let's do this. The morning sun has come to vanquish the horrible night. Yes! My favourite Metal Gear Solid is probably a toss-up between 2 and 3, depending on what mood I'm in. And we never saw him again. That used to be like my favourite running gag that I did. Yeah, the opening theme of 2 is my favourite song in the series. And that's Super Castlevania IV. A really solid game, and like I'm glad this was my first Castlevania. It's fantastic. And like the funniest part about all of this is, like, you saw the bullshit. This is one of the least bullshit Castlevania games. Least bullshit Classicvanias. This is the official end of the Castlevania Marathon with Super Castlevania IV. You know, the final fight in Metal Gear Solid 4 is amazing. The bullshit scene before the end. But no, seriously, as far as classic Castlevania goes, this is probably the least bullshit of them. And that should terrify you. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. It's a good game though, and I do really like Super Castlevania IV. And I'm glad that we got through it without actually using save states. I was so close. But like, we got through that one part in the Frankenstein's monster level, and then beat the monster, so that wasn't too bad. And then the checkpoint before death was good. And so I suppose the question now is, like, what do we follow up with this with? What do we do now that we've finished the Castlevania Marathon, which... This is session 15. Is it? No, I think it's session 16. The finale, 16 sessions of solid Castlevania. This was a good marathon. Life has been Castlevania for so long. What do we do now? I'm debating Wind Wanker. I am debating Wind Wanker, I'll admit. You can shoot the sub-weapons while you're swinging? What? Like, Wind Waker's definitely going to be soon. The Wind Waker's going to be before Star Wars month. God, fuck Slogra. Horrible boss. This is such a good looking game as well. Like, after the NES Castlevania games, which were making use of a very limited colour palette, this game comes along and goes so hard into atmospheric, and it's amazing. I'm glad we got that done. What is this, an arcade game? Fucking cat's going crazy. This is weird. A Super Nintendo game that loops when you finish it, and it's not an arcade port. It was good. It was a good time. Super Castlevania IV. The entire marathon has been good, except for those bits where it wasn't. How many games did we actually finish? We did Lament of Innocence. No, not Simon's Quest for 10 minutes. If we're going to do any for 10 minutes, like, I'm thinking Belmont's Revenge. Possibly the most underrated Castlevania game. I wonder which one came out first. My biggest problem with this, though, is there's a full colour version of Belmont's Revenge, and it's disappointing that Konami doesn't have it on here. It's not even like a fan hack or anything like Metroid 2 DX or Super Mario Land 2 Colorized, I think it's called. Like, there's an official colorized version of this, and it's disappointing that it's not on here. You know what I think? What we're going to do is we're going to switch it up.